Today, President Obama returns home to Chicago to give his farewell speech.
Here's a preview of what he'll say about race relations since he took office 8 years ago.
I am absolutely convinced that race relations on the whole are actually better now than they were in 20 years. Yes.
Well, there's one problem. The president's view isn't shared by Black Americans. 49% say race relations are good. That is way down compared to 61% who said so in 2008.
Our next guest also sees things differently. Antonia Okafor is a correspondent with the Independent Journal Review. She joins us right now from Dallas. Good morning to you, Antonia.
Good morning.
Okay, so Barack Obama says race relations are better now than when he came into office. You completely disagree. Where do you want to start?
Yeah, well, let's just start with the fact that just look at the economic side of it with jobs. Like you said, 49% of African Americans believe that race relations are good versus in 2008 when they said that 61% believe that race relations between blacks and whites were good. And then just looking at the economy, labor participation rates have gone down. And really until May 2015, African Americans and unemployment rate were in the double digits. And still today, compared to the rest of America, they're still substantially higher. And so just to look at that alone, we see that we're not faring well. Definitely not in the likelihood or the likeness of what he's been talking about and touting as if that's part of his legacy.
Sure.
It's definitely not a good part at all.
Tim Scott is a senator from South Carolina. He has said he wants to work with Donald Trump to improve race relations in our country. What can they do together to improve the problem here?
Yeah, shortly after Trump was elected, Tim Scott bravely talked to people in the news to tell them that he was willing to go on a listening tour. Go to Ohio, go to these inner city, frankly, Democratic controlled cities where African Americans are hurting and they want change. And I think part of that is that they just want someone to listen to them and to tell them that they're going to be heard and they're going to have their problems addressed. Really, they're just like any other Americans. They want to put food on the table. They want a better future for their kids and their family, just like any other white or Latina person. And that's why I think the Trump presidency is going to do very well, is because he's not going to be divisive in the fact that he wants all of America to do better. And that includes Black, that includes African American, that includes white and Asian, Latino, what have you. So that's the important thing here.
And Donald Trump's talking about lower taxes, which helps everybody, including the Black community. School choice, which would help the Black community.
Choice.
The other thing, Antonia, though, is for the last 8 years, if you're a person who does not agree with President Barack Obama's policies, you've been called a racist. Well, you don't like it because you're a racist. Going forward, that's not going to happen. But you personally have gotten, I understand you've lost some friends over your positions. Explain that to us.
Oh, yeah. Well, as a Black conservative, as really anybody who's not a radical liberal leftist, to be honest, someone who goes against the grain and says that, these policies that Barack Obama has touted and has, championed are really policies that are not good for African Americans and not good for really the country. And I've seen it. I used to be a Democrat, and until 2012, I voted for President Obama. And I realized shortly after that I was going to an economy, I was about to graduate college, and going to an economy that was really abysmal despite what the media was telling me, despite what Obama was telling me. And I think a lot of African Americans are starting to see that, but unfortunately a lot of people on the left continue to put this narrative out there that if you disagree with President Obama, then yes, you're a detriment to your own race. You don't care about your own people. You're sexist, you're a feminist, you're a misogynist, and that's disappointing and that's sad because it's really holding people back from what the truth is. And the truth is that we have to look up policies.
For Donald Trump. That's why he won. All right. Thank you so much.
I agree.
Thanks for being here,
Thank you.
Antonia.